Oh, hello again. Hope you can hear me okay. This is Wonder Skippy again. Doing another, my last Rapture table. I'll get it for you now. Here it is. Before I go through it, I'd like to say that so far with this research on these Rapture tables, I've got 5 dates, 3 2014 to 15 and 2 2015 to 16. Now I think there's enough evidence now to suggest that the rapture is going to happen in 2014 to 15, and this here is what makes me think this is so. If you see on this table, there's a date here, and it's right next to the axis term. It starts there with that hay down there. Het, shin, ayin, hay. So that's 2014, 2015. Now these dates, they don't come up all over the place on these tables. It's quite rare you get a corresponding date within a sort of reasonable range. You'll have dates from you'll have about 5 dates come up from something like 1850 or 2170, those sort of dates, way off anything reasonable to be expected. So I think the fact that it's come up 3 times as 2014-15 is strong evidence that that's the years that it's going to happen, or the year in the Hebrew year. Also indicating that 2015-16 is also part of this rapture era, but I think it will probably have happened by then, before 2016. So I'll run through this table now. Over here, 1880 is love, or adore, down there. This, in the plain text in purple, is wind or breath. Over here in the light blue diamonds is the word apotheosis again. And as I described in the other video, where it came up on the axis term, it can mean to be glorified. That's one of the meanings of it. Bequeathing is in a diagonal 1884. 1884, that one down there, bequeathing in circles. Blessed ran along the top. I haven't put everything in because it gets too crowded and you won't be able to see anything. There was something interesting going on with the word casting. I'll show it to you if I've got time later. I didn't put it on the table. Detaching was vertical near the axis. Escapist was near the top. Flash was down through this word adore. Harvester was 1903 across the axis. That's in green diamonds, so there it is, harvester. Like on the harvest in the last days. Jubilee is over here in 1940, that down there, that word, Jubilee. Patriarchate, which is a word meaning patrician, is across the axis. And this blue word here in the circles is phylacteries. That's on the axis term. Phylacteries are little boxes with some of the scriptures in, which religious Jews wear on their forehead, and I think that Jesus was wearing them when he was in the tomb, because the Turin shroud shows phylacteries, and I think the shroud's genuine. Plucking was vertical near the axis. Prevail, 1873. 1873, prevail, must be that one. Reconciliation was diagonal near prevail. Rescue was 1919, is an axis. That's an axis word, rescue. This one in blue here, rescue. Reservation was near the axis. Rise was in the plain text, that's that word there, above Jubilee. There's another rise, which is a different Hebrew word, and that's over here, which corresponds with this 1873 word, which was prevail. So there's two rises there, Jubilee and prevail. There's a little pattern going on there. Saved, the word saved runs along the phylacteries in the same column here. Scintillation was a word that came up 3 times. It runs vertically down the adore word here again. There were quite a few words that ran down there. I couldn't put them in because you won't be able to see what's going on. 1875. There, I've put it in there, scintillation, vertically in the blue circles. Scintillation. I hadn't looked that word up, I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it's in there. Stamped, I don't know if that's applicable or relevant, but it was in the axis term, in a diagonal. Twilight was horizontal over here, next to Jubilee, like as if the twilight years before the Jubilee. There was a word that came up. I'll look it up in a minute. It's Yad Vashem. I don't know what it means, if it's a name or something, because they don't show names until later, and I ignore the names usually. But I'll have a look at it. It might be a Hebrew word for something. Ultimatum was across the axis. Upsurge was 1942. 1942. That word I think is upsurge there. That's rise. It's the same word as rise. Upsurge. And that's upsurge as well. The same kind of word, but different letters in Hebrew. This is an interesting word down here, vanish. Now, I've never seen vanish before in any of these tables. There it is in the orange, in the squares. And that's it. So I think I've got enough evidence to satisfy my curiosity about this matter. I'm not going to do any more tables now because I think there's enough done already, for me anyway. So I'm going to get on to some other stuff in a minute. I'm interested in the Hadron Collider. I have been for a few years now. I'd like to try. I've looked at it as an axis term, but it's not in the Bible as an axis. Hadron or large hadron or anything isn't in there. So I'm going to try and investigate Ezekiel, because there's something in there that fascinates me when Ezekiel says that there's one wheel upon the earth. I think he's talking in cryptic terms about the Hadron Collider. If you read Ezekiel through there, you'll see what I'm talking about, because he says, and I heard from within the wheel the sound, "O wheel," and I thought to myself, "O wheel," sounds like a term of reverence for the wheel, as if there's some kind of adoration of the wheel. And I think the wheel is the ring, is the large hadron collider. So I'm going to investigate that, see if I can get anything on it. So that's all for now.